Joining us on Flyers Breakup Day as we put a bow on the 22-23 season, it is Flyers forward Owen Tippett. Tip, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. You have to feel really good about the opportunity you had and what you did with it.
Yeah. Obviously coming into the year, I wanted to have a good year, and I think coming over last year, I got a kind of good sense of meeting the guys and kind of what it is to be a Flyer. So although we didn't make playoffs, I'm happy with kind of the strides we took as a team this year.
The one thing is coming in last year to get that end of the season run to kind of get assimilated to where everything is, and then being able to come into this year, you can just concentrate on hockey. It's a lot more mentally relieving in a way, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, like you said, I think coming in at the end of the year helps you kind of get adjusted a little bit and get your bearings straight, and also meet some of the guys. I know when you go into a place in the summer and you got to meet everyone at once, it can be a little overwhelming. So.
This group, the guys and the guys that you go to battle with, there's a bond with this young group in particular, but one thing that seems really apparent that no matter what the situation this year, you guys never turned on each other, never fell apart. Why is that?
I think it's just the trust we have in the room. I mean, obviously, when you're with each other every day of the year, and you want to kind of go to battle and fight for the guy next to you, it goes a long way. And I think we did a great job at kind of sticking with each other through the ups and downs. And I think it goes a long way, and it goes to show that when you have that trust with one another and you want to work for one another, and good things can happen.
When you look back at the season, is there one particular high moment, and was it St. Patrick's Day?
I think so, for sure. That's a big one for me. Obviously, first career hat trick, but most importantly, I had it just happened to be the weekend that I had a lot of friends and family in town, so it was nice to kind of have them in and celebrate with them.
The way you've played all season long, to me, it seems like there was a realization that not only are you an NHL player, but you're an NHL player that can be one that has to be reckoned with. And the reason why I say that is because of your decision-making on the ice, the things you were willing to try and willing to succeed at. Is that a big element for you?
Yeah, I think so. I think, obviously it comes with confidence. When I think any player has confidence, you're willing to try, that little extra move or whatever it may be. But I think it's more importantly just kind of realizing what kind of player I was. I think this year was a big step for me, and realizing kind of what my role was and the identity I needed to kind of have as a player.
One of the elements that maybe people underrated you on was your skating, because you see a big guy, a power forward, but you don't often see that combined with the burst that you have. Splitting D in the neutral zone to get an opportunity. We saw it time and time again this season. How much of a huge element are your legs to your success at this level?
Yeah, it's a huge element. I mean, I think you see it. Each year the league's getting faster and faster with new guys coming in, and also the league's getting younger, and it's one of those things that you're gonna kind of always be working on is your skating and explosiveness. So I think it's one of those things for sure that I've kind of always maybe had, but just finding different areas on when to take off and when to kind of step back, sort of thing. So it's definitely something that I've always been working on.
You work on that explosiveness quite a bit, a lot of plyo and stuff like that.
Yeah, usually summers are big. I mean, a lot of the stuff that goes into the powerfulness of any sport,
because it's that first step, right?
Yeah. It could be anything. So I think in the gym is when a lot of things can happen, and I take pride in working on that stuff, whether it's on the ice or off the ice.
Torts is very direct in the kind of player he wants you to be, taking it hard to the net and being a guy that can really dominate physically as well. What's it been like playing for him and the consistency of his message to you?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, I think he made it clear kind of right from the start of training camp on what kind of player he wanted to be with, playing that power forward game and taking pucks to the net and using my body. And I think that helped me a lot too with kind of taking off this year and playing with confidence, just knowing, that's what they expect from me. And, that's once I kind of got used to that role and got comfortable in that role, it made it a lot easier. 27
goals this season. What do you want to work on in the off season? What's on your checklist?
Yeah, just, consistency again, and, nothing kind of in particular right now, but, just, again, finishing and working on that release.
The finishing in tight.
Yeah, just shots, consistency, bearing down, and, any release points and stuff like that, just same as the past.
The thing is you probably didn't have to finish a lot in tight at other levels, did you? Because your shot would just, you could live on that.
Yeah,
from outside
I
almost.
think so. It's a little different too. I mean, the way games are going now, everything's goalies are bigger, goalies are stronger, goalies are faster, and I think it just goes to show that a lot of the chances in games are from those high danger areas, and you don't have much time to get it off, and a lot of them are in close.
Hey, I always say, if you want to score goals, then go to where goals are scored.
Exactly.
It's like fishing where the fish are.
Yeah.
What goaltender that you've played against is the one that frustrates you the most? Like you look at the net and you go, there's just nowhere for me to go.
Yeah, I think there was a couple games. I think it was last year, maybe when I first came in, that it's pretty easy to answer. But Shesterkin, I think I had 4 or 5 kind of breakaways in the one game, and didn't outscore on any of them. So I think for him, just he's so quick, and he can take away the net, whether it's open or not. He takes it away pretty quick. Yeah,
there's some of those guys too that are get to such a high level of play in a particular time, and they almost beat you before too. Mm-hmm. Like Carey Price, that was the thing. You'd feel like you'd have to have the perfect shot to beat him, then you miss the net.
Yep.
Because sometimes maybe you're better off just shooting his pads and driving for a rebound.
Yeah.
The overall experience this season, because I thought you were a guy that needed opportunity without being worried about making a mistake, and being able to grab the opportunity and make mistakes and still be in there. Was that a big element for you mentally?
Yeah, I think so. Coming over last year, like I said, I had a new opportunity and a fresh start, and it's what you're saying. I mean, obviously you want to kind of have that freedom to try things and not worry about kind of what's going to happen if you make mistakes, but at the same time, you can't be trying it all the time, and you got to play simple at times, and make sure when you do try things, it's the right time. So I think there's still a bit for me to learn that way, and I've kind of got bit a little bit early on in the year, but once I kind of sorted it out, I got a better feel of when it was time to kind of try something or play it safe.
Last thing for you. What do you do to decompress in the season? What's Owen Tippett going to do in the next couple of weeks?
Take a couple weeks off, say hi to some family, hang out with them, and spend some time with buddies and get back on the golf course.
You can hit them straight?
It's always a gamble.
We'll see.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, Owen, great season. You're a real big reason of optimism for a lot of the fan base. Thanks for doing this. Enjoy the summer, and we'll talk soon.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you.